I'm Tony, and I'm mad. Fantasy football! Yep, it's that time of year again. The leaves are falling from the trees, the kids are back in school,
and football is back!
And the boys of the NFL are beating on each other once again. Back to Sundays dominated by brutality, and drunken, stammering, jersey-wearing fans littering the streets of a city near you.
Oh, it's a wonderful time of the year.
And I love it. I love it. But one thing I just can't stand is fantasy football.
I don't like fantasy football.
And what I don't understand about fantasy football is it changes the rules. I grew up rooting for the Jets. I'm rooting for the Jets. So I don't like Miami. I don't like New England. I don't like them. Fantasy football, it puts you in a position where you have to root for them. And sometimes you don't even care if your team lost. Have you ever been out with a buddy that's like a big-time Cowboys fan, and the Cowboys get pummeled, and he's all excited, yeah! And you're like, what? Your boys lost today.
Yeah, but Eli just threw 4 touchdown passes for my team.
You're rooting for people on other teams that you're supposed to hate. And fantasy football makes people crazy. They get crazy, especially if something happens to one of their key players. Like this recent stuff with Adrian Peterson. All the people in the world weren't concerned about Adrian for his family life and what's going on. They were like,
oh no, he's off my team. Adrian isn't gonna play. Oh no, Adrian's not gonna be able to play, and beast mode is hurt too.
I don't like the concept of fantasy football, because it's just one more thing in the world I can't win. I can't win it. I'm having troubles enough watching reality football with the Jets. I don't get the concept. I've had buddies that play fantasy football more excited about their team winning than their team winning in reality. Yo, man, I'm sorry about the Giants.
Oh, that's okay. My fantasy team won today. I won by 25 points.
What? One of the compelling reasons that people are into fantasy is because of gambling. You can gamble on football and it's legal. And what's funny is when you bring money into the equation, people get right. The most dedicated homers, when they have a fantasy team, they don't pick anybody from their team.
I got the Seattle Seahawks defense.
It's funny because it's like people think in two ways. They think with their heart, they think with their head. In the beginning of the season, everybody's talking about,
we're going to the Super Bowl this year.
But on their fantasy team, they don't pick no one from their team. How do you feel like you're going to win the Super Bowl if you ain't picking not one player on your team? Think with your heart, you think with your head. And during football season, you can't take a fantasy player anywhere. If it's a Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, they are dominated by the TV. Just try to call a friend on a Sunday. Hey, brah, I need some help. Can you help me?
No, I can't today.
What?
I'm watching the game.
All right, the game. What, they on early today? You can help me later?
No, man, I got 4 players playing in the night game.
The people that really get into fantasy are making moves all the time. Sitting players down, putting other players, looking for trades. I can't be involved with all of that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't like fantasy football.
I don't like fantasy football. I don't like it.
You ever get a call from a buddy, he's yelling at you about his team, and he's blaming you because one of the players on your team killed his chances for the week? Hey, bro, what's up? You want to get something to eat?
Nah, man, don't talk to me. Your kicker just messed up my chances to win this week.
My what? People that absolutely hate other teams and are always discounting players from other teams, when they have an opportunity to grab a good player from another team, they dance around like it's Christmas time.
I got Tony Romo.
Yeah, bro, but you said Tony Romo could never win the big game.
I don't need him to win the big game. I need him to do well in fantasy.
I don't like fantasy football.
I don't like it.
You can't even talk to a fantasy player on draft day. You can't even talk to that dude. You can't even talk to them. Even if it's for business. I tried calling my buddy on fantasy. He's like,
no. It's draft night. I can't talk to you today. It's draft night.
They're making logos. They're filling out rosters. They're looking at games down the line. They're looking at managing. They're managing all day and all night.
Yo, man, if I do things right this year, I can win $600.
And those are the first people that sit back and criticize Jerry Jones for micromanaging his team. Let me get this. You managing a fantasy team, paying money on the hopes you might win something.
Maybe $600?
And you're criticizing a billionaire making billions for wanting to do the same thing.
Maybe $600?
Say what?
I don't don't like fantasy football. I don't like it.
I'm mad as hell. I'm mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take it.
Oh no, Adrian's not gonna be able to play, and beast mode is hurt too. Ain't nobody got time for that.